Hi everyone, it's Daphne and I'm here to do a product reveal. So while Julie and I were at Creativation this year, we went to 49 Market, which is a company that we are familiar with mostly from using their flowers. And in fact, if you've watched the Spring Botanic 8.5 by 8.5 mini album that I just finished, it features 49 Market flowers. But they just released this year this brand new pre-made mini album, which they gave me a sample of while I was there. I'm going to go ahead and open it for you guys. I was pretty excited to see this. Most of the mini albums that I'm familiar with, mostly Frank Garcia Prima and Graphic 45, a lot of times are either too small or they have too many pages in it. And I want to be able to customize and add flaps. And if you already have a bunch of pages in the book, it's kind of hard to do that. There's no room with the gussets. So what I wanted to share with you is the book that they released this year. So one of the nice things is each page is double wide. And what I like about that is I know I have enough of exactly the same cardstock as the album to do flaps any way I want. So I can either leave this on here as a flap, or I can trim it off and use it as paper to make pockets or other flip fold features in the mini album. So one of the things that I wasn't too crazy about is on the first page, there's really no gusset to the cover. But I can get over that. And one of the ways I would do that is I would probably fold this so that it opens toward the gusset on the next page. So each page is double wide, like I said, and can be either trimmed down to make a half flap or 2 flaps, or trimmed off completely and then re-adhered to the page so that it operates in a different way, either flipping up or down. So I kind of like that. It's very thick, nice cardstock, and there's a 1/2 inch gusset between each of the pages, and as you can see there are 6 pages, so 6 pages and each one is double wide. So I'm really liking that. The way they adhered them is there's a 1/2 inch score line and they've adhered it directly to the spine, and you'll see that throughout the book. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm liking the way the paper is holding up. Not this one in particular because I haven't had it very long. But even at the show, I was opening and closing and looking at what how the paper was performing during the show, and it was holding up pretty well. And so this is not cracking. Of course, I just opened it, and you'll see there's a little ding on the corner here, but that's due to me trying to get it home from the shop in my luggage. So that was pretty exciting. It comes packed with this cardboard on the inside of the book, which keeps it from being crushed for the most part. But like I said, I really had a lot of stuff to get home from the show. They had some of these pretty glossy dots, which they gave me because I'm going to incorporate them into this Bold and Beautiful collection. So this is an 8 by 8 collection. There's 2 of each double-sided pattern, plus 3 coordinating laser cut sheets, which is what I was very excited about. So first of all, the prints are very beautiful. The paper is really thick and lush. But what I was really excited about were these laser cuts. So these laser cuts, they are just what they say. They're already cut. They pop right off. So there's not a lot of fussy cutting. Even these intricate designs are already cut. They've got these flowers in the collection, and they're made to pop right out, and then there's instructions for exactly how to layer these so that you get a dimensional flower once you're done building it. So I am going to construct something out of this, and when I do, I'm going to go through the process of building some of these flowers in the tutorial so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. And we want to get some feedback on this collection because this is something that we're considering carrying. And part of the reason I was so taken with it is, again, these fussy, or not fussy cut, but laser cut images are just stunning. And if you are a scrapbooker like me, you know that fussy cutting something like a rose like this can be quite time consuming. And the older I get, And the worse my eyes get, the harder that is for me to achieve. But I like and I love the look of layering lots of laser cut or fussy cut items. So you get the benefit of that without near as much work. So those are the laser cuts, beautiful. The paper is lovely. Like I said, I can't hardly wait to get started. I'm gonna make something with this collection utilizing their album because I want to be able to demonstrate this paper on their album, and then also demonstrate how you can repurpose some of those flaps. And again, we're looking for feedback on whether or not you guys think this is something you'd be interested in, that we should start carrying. They carry their papers in 12 by 12 and 8 by 8, and the 12 by 12 is a larger scale, and I like that because if you're doing a smaller album, you really want to scale down some of the images. So because they've scaled it down, if I use this on one of their sheets or use it in an 8 by 8, I'm not having to cut halfway through the image, which is nice. Same one. Okay. Lovely, lovely. So if I was doing, for example, an 8 by 8 with album using 12 by 12 sheets, I'd have to cut like this design feature off. So it's very nice that they've scaled it down so that I can use both of these design elements in an 8 by 8. And that was very conscious on their part. Lovely, lovely. And here's another perfect example of one that might be difficult to utilize if it was on a 12 by 12 and you were doing a smaller album. The colors are just so beautiful. I'm working with some combination of daylight and artificial light because we've had a lot of rain. I particularly love this page. So I'm not sure you're getting the full benefit of the paper, but it is lovely. It's just gorgeous. So if you like shabby chic or elegant, it's going to be right up your alley. Okay, another beautiful one. And even though it comes with laser cuts, there are some components here that are easy to fussy cut and reuse. And again, you get 2 of each design, so I'm kind of skipping every other one because it's the same one. So beautiful, beautiful flowers. Love this. The stamp. And then here's the flip side of that. Lovely letter. Elements of the flowers, a couple of the stamps. So we really like this collection. We'd like to get some feedback. We haven't ordered any of this yet, but I'm really liking it. And their newer collections are going to come out with these 3 sheets of die cuts, which kind of sold me on the collection. I really like layering. And if you've watched my videos, you can see I almost always make use of layering in my covers. And if I had more time, probably even inside my albums, but I'm always anxious to get some inspiration out there for you guys. So please give us some feedback. Put some comments down below and let us know what you think of this collection. It is 49 and Market, Bold and Beautiful, and you have heard of them, and you've probably heard of them because of their flowers. Their flowers are just gorgeous, and we've been carrying those for some time. But we are considering carrying some of their paper, as well as this pre-made mini album. I'd like to get some feedback on what people think about buying a ready-to-decorate mini album. And then they had these as well. They also have some additional items that coordinate with this. But for now, this is all the pieces that we picked up at the show. So give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. If you like it, we will do some more research and see about getting some more of this paper in our shop. I do have a couple of albums that I'm working on right now for collections we do have in the shop. So once I get those completed, I'm going to come back and do something with this and get it out there. And I'll ask again for some feedback on what your guys' thoughts are on the paper, the album, and whether or not you would like to see more of this in our shop. Their paper is very heavy. It's very rich. It's some of the nicest paper from a weight perspective that we really came across at the show this year. So anxious to hear your thoughts on this. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Bye.